Today, we start with very important concept, that is functions. See, C is nothing but collection of functions or set of functions in which one function should be the main function. One function should be the main function. A function is also called as a module or a subprogram or a subtask or a procedure or anything. A function is a piece of code. Piece of code is nothing but a part of code in which it can be used to perform. It is a part of a code, a small piece of a code, small code, which can be used to handle or execute a specific task or a particular task. C is nothing but collection of functions. Basically, C language can provide you two categories of functions. Number one is user defined functions. Second one is a system defined or predefined functions. There are two categories of functions. Number one, user defined functions. Second category is a system defined functions. See, a function that is defined by the programmer, a function defined or written by the programmer or a user is said to be user defined functions. For example, if I write Guntur, Guntur is a function. Ramu is nothing but a function. Sai, it is nothing but a function. You can write anything on your own. Such a function is said to be a user-defined function. A function that is defined by a system itself, what you call a predefined function, system-defined function. For example, I told you string handling functions. Even we have character functions, getChar, string length, square root, absolute, logarithm, etc. Whatever the functions that are defined by the system is said to be a system-defined function. A function that is defined by the user is said to be user-defined functions. Every program may contain two categories of functions, what you call user-defined functions and system-defined functions too. User-defined functions and system-defined functions too. How to write a function, how a program, even main is also user-defined function, but the name should be main. You should not change the name of a function name, what you call a main. Main is also user-defined function. Right. For example, if I write a function like this, you may write either void main or integer main, that is our wish, based upon the compiler. This is a main function. Here I am writing a printf, what you call output statement. Printf, I am in main function. Here I am writing, for example, if I simply write Guntur, this is another function, printf. I am in Guntur function. I am in Guntur function. Here you will get output that is only I am in main function, because we know that every C program execution always starts with the main function. Every C program execution always starts with the main function. In this case, first main function, then enters into the function. What is here? Printf. Printf is an output statement. What happens? I am in main. Main will be closed. That's it. Over. Then your question may be, sir, what is the purpose of Guntur? Yes, function exit, but that is not called. So you need to call the function what you call another function. If I write like this, if I write like this, here there is a main function, output statement or output function is I am in main function. I am in main function. Here, if I write a function called a Guntur, simply I am writing printf, I am in Guntur. That's it. So here I am writing a component, what you call Guntur here. Clearly observe, these are very, very important. This Guntur is said to be a function call. What is this? This is called a function call. Here, this main function, here there are two functions. Number one is calling function. Second one is called function. Main is a calling function. Here, this is a called function. How the program will be executed? First, we start with the main program. Then it is entered into the statement, what you call printf, call output statement. It shows an output, what you call I am in main. Output will be printed. Then immediately it move on to the next statement. What is the next statement? Guntur. Guntur is a normal statement? No, it is a user defined function. Whenever there is a function call, automatically control transfer to this location. Here, control transfer to this location, what you call a function called a Guntur, executes all the statements we have within the function, and then control return back to the next statement. There is no statement here. Then we move on to exit. Got it? First, main function. Our C program always starts with the main function. Here, first it prints I am in main. I am in main. I am in main will be printed. Then there is a function call Guntur. What is this function call Guntur? It's a function call. Immediately control transfer to that location. What is that location? Guntur function. Then execute the statements here. Printf I am in Guntur. After function execution, statement execution, control return back to the next statement in the main function. So what will be the output? I am in main, I am in Guntur. For example, we will see how it will be executed. Functions initially, they seems to be typical, but it is very, very easy. Be careful. You have to understand properly. I am in main function, something like this. Here what happens, what I'm doing, I am calling a function. What is that? Function call. I told you there is a function called Guntur. What is that? Function need to be opened and closed. Printf, I am in Guntur function. I am in Guntur function. Say this. What happened? I am in main function. Control started here. Control started here. Then it prints I am in main function. Then there is a function call. What is that function call? Guntur. Guntur is a function call. Here, Guntur is a function call. And then immediately, whenever there is a function call, immediately control transfer to that location, what you call function Guntur, executes all the statements, then return back to the next statement. For example, I am writing one more function, Ongol. You can have any number of functions. You can execute any number of functions anytime. Here we go for I am in Ongol. Printf, I am in Ongol. See, if you are not calling this function, what will happen? You will get only the output I am in main, I am in Guntur. Because we have not called that function called Ongol. If I call that function Ongol here, there is a function called Ongol, then only function will be called. I am in main, I am in Guntur, I am in Ongol. Calling function, called function, function call, isn't it? Right. See, I told you there is every function, the structure of functions may be different. Every function may have the following prototype: return type, function name, arguments list, what you call data type, variable 1, variable 2, etc. Every program must contain a function prototype declaration. This is called a function prototype declaration. Function prototype declaration. And function calling is name of the function with arguments. I will tell you about those elements. For example, if I'm going to declare a function called a factorial, integer is a return type. You may write integer, float, a character, or void. Void means no return value. Function name is factorial. Here we have one argument, what you call integer n. This is a function prototype. This is called a function prototype. And the function calling may be, after reading n, the factor of n will be function call. Factor of n will be function call. Basically, there are 4 categories of functions. A function with no return type, and no arguments. Consider a function with no return type, no arguments. A function with no return type, with arguments. A function with return type, no arguments. A function with return type and arguments. Basically, based upon the usage, we can classify the functions into two categories: user-defined functions, predefined functions. A function defined by the user is said to be user-defined function. A function defined by the system is said to be system-defined or predefined or built-in function. And then, based upon the return or return type and arguments, we can classify the functions into four categories: a function with no return type, no arguments; a function with no return type with arguments; a function with return type, no arguments; a function with return type and arguments. Whatever the function we have seen earlier is an example of a function with no return type, no arguments. Got it? A function with no return type and no arguments. Slowly, we go through one by one. For example, let us see how to. I told you just now, I told you here there is a main function, printf I am in main, Bangalore, printf I am in Bangalore, Chennai, I am in Chennai. Here, what will be the output? I told you output will be only I am in main. Only I am in main. Here, functions such as main, printf, scanf, getch, exit, all these. See, whatever the components that are defined above are called functions. There is a while condition, if statement, switch statement, for loop. They are somewhat control structures. They are not considered to be functions. So what is the output of this function? Printf, I am in main. Why you got only I am in main? Because we have defined the functions. Function body exists, but there is no function call at all. That's why if there is no function call, that particular function may not be called. Now, I told you functions can be divided into two categories: standard library functions, user-defined functions, printf, scanf, exit, clear screen, string length, string concatenation, absolute, square root, whatever it is. All these functions are said to be standard library functions or predefined functions or built-in functions. Functions defined by the user, such as Chennai, Bangalore, main, or Ramo, anything, or come under user-defined functions. See this. Here there is a main function. I am in Bangalore, Chennai, I am in Chennai. There is a Bangalore. See this, Chennai. What will happen? Our program execution always starts at main function. Printf I am in main. Then next statement is Bangalore. Immediately, see this, we'll draw it. Immediately, control transfer to this statement Bangalore, executes all the statements, then control return back to the next statement, Chennai. Whenever there is a function called Chennai, immediately control transfer to Chennai, executes all the statements there, then control return back to the next statement. The output would be I am in main, I am in Bangalore, I am in Chennai. Isn't it? Chennai, it is function call. I told you function call. And whatever the function definition, that is called function definition. A C program is nothing but collection of one or more functions. Every C program must have at least one function. That function is a main function. Yes, if a C program contains one function, its name must be main. If a C program contains more than one function, then one of them has to be main. Execution of any C program always starts with the function called a main function. Function names in a program must be unique. You are not supposed to write Guntur function 2 times. You may write Guntur Ongol, but the same function name should not be repeated. Okay, next. Order. Order may be anywhere. You may write before the main function or after the main function. Anything is okay. For example, if you have more than one function call, what happens? Nothing happens, everything will be executed, but it may require more execution time. Say this, I am in main function, Bangalore, control transfer to Bangalore, execute the statement, then control return back. Again, there is a function called Bangalore, again function called execution, next statement. More the calls, slower the execution. That's why we will have next concept called recursion. Next time we will tell you about, I'm going to discuss about recursion. A function that itself is called is said to be a recursion. See, for example, if we have any function, one function may exist, another function, no problem at all, but it leads to something like this. What is the output? Main, isn't it? What is that? Main, right? Main. Printf, I am in main function, okay. The first statement, execution, I am in main, very good. Then the next statement, what is the next statement? Bangalore. What happens? Immediately control transfer to Bangalore. What happens? I am in Bangalore. Then what happens? Chennai. Again, there is a function called Chennai. It prints, I am in Chennai. Again, Bangalore. Then again, function call goes to Bangalore. I am in Bangalore. Chennai, again Bangalore. This process will create infinite loop. Again, Bangalore, within the Bangalore, we have a function called Chennai. In Chennai, we have a function called Bangalore. Yes, Chennai, immediately control transferred. Bangalore, move on to Bangalore. Again, I'm in Bangalore. Again, Chennai. This process will be repeated infinitely. The program may not end up with the execution. The program may not end up with the execution. That is a function. What is that? Function. Once again. See, if I write a main function, here we have a normal statement called a printf. Welcome, for example. I am writing a function called a Guntur. Here there is a Guntur function call. There is a function definition. Again, I am calling Guntur or main, something like this. If I call Guntur again, what happens? Whenever there is a function call, control transfer to this location. Within the function, some printf statement, again, what happens? Guntur, the same function will be called. Again, same function will be called. This kind of execution always causes a concept what you call infinite looping. This concept causes what? Infinite looping. It leads to a program that under continuous looping, which leads to error, Next, how to perform the communication between the functions. See, just remember this word once. A function, calling a function from itself is called recursion. Calling the same function again and again is said to be recursion. Remember this, later I will tell you, right? Consider communication between the functions. What happens? Here I am initializing A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30. I'm taking another variable, what you call yes. What is this? This is called as a function call. What happens whenever there is a function call? Automatically control transfer to that location. Integer a, b, c, yes. Yes is equal to a plus b plus c. Printf, yes. See, values are existing at the main function. These values are not passed to that function. So here it leads to a garbage value. Here also it leads to a garbage value. See this, garbage values will be displayed. Let us see how to execute this so that you can have a clarity. Okay, let us start with one function. Consider this is a main function. Integer a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to 50, comma, yes, I'm taking. Here I'm using calculate sum. Calculate sum. I'm using a function calculate printf sum value is percentage d. Okay, what is that? Yes, here I'm writing what? S is equal to calculate sum. S is equal to calculate sum or cal sum. You write anything, no problem at all. You write anything, that is also okay. Your wish. If I am going to perform a model, what you call calculate some value. Here I'm writing the function code. It is called a function call. Calculate some. Here I'm taking any other variables. I will tell you about local variable, global variable, A, B, C, and S. Okay, S is equal to A plus B plus C plus C. Here I'm using printf. Some value is percentage D. What is that? Yes. Say this integer main A, B, here A comma, here there is a minus 20. Okay. Some value is, see this is 0. Some value is some garbage value. That means there is no communication between the functions. No communication between the functions. So you have to provide some kind of communication which leads to some kind of garbage value. I told you garbage. Garbage means something we don't know. Any value may be produced at any time. That's what you are going to do. We are going to have integer, what I'm doing, say this. Integer A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30, and another variable called S. Even you may take printf, enter any three numbers, percentage D, percentage D, percentage D, A, B, C. That is your wish. You may read the same thing again. Calculate some value. This is a function call. I told you these are called as arguments. What is that? These are called as arguments. Here, these values, whenever the function call occurs, immediately value of A will be copied onto value of X, value X. B will be copied onto Y. C will be copied onto Z. What is A? 10. What is X? 10. What is B? 20. What is C? 30. Integer yes. S is equal to what? 10 plus 20 plus 30, you will get, what is that? 10 plus 20 plus 30. Okay. Here you will get what S value is. S is equal to 60. Good. You will get 60. But is it the same value will be reflected here? No. Here it leads to either 0 or garbage. Either 0 or garbage. For example, if you return that value to the main function, again S will be 60 there. Let us see the execution state. See, just you have to know about the all possibilities, then only you can understand A, B, and C. Here I am passing these arguments. Integer X, integer Y, low formal arguments, actual arguments. I will tell you about one by one later. Here only I have only three yes, only yes. What are the variables here? X plus Y plus Z. These three values are executed. See this calcium. Okay. One second. Okay. So what is happening here? In this case, yes, X, A will be copied onto X, B will be copied onto Y, C will be copied onto Z. Then yes, S is equal to X plus Y plus Z. 10 plus 20 plus 30 is equal to 60. I need to recompile it, then only I can get the answer. Here, printf 60, this information may not be communicated here. In this case, this is called as a function call. These are arguments. This is a function definition. Function definition. In this case, these are called as local variables. We have two categories of variables. Number one is local variable. If a variable which is declared before the main function, that is called as a global variable. If I declare the variable here, integer x or integer ix, it exists before the main function, then we can say that this is a global variable. If a variable I'm declared within the function, this variable is called as local variable. Yes, this is only the introduction about functions. Still we have more to learn.